Welcome back everyone to the channel. I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here for just a couple minutes of your day. I appreciate you guys. So today I'm doing a little different review. I usually review books or manga. Today I am going to review comic books. And for the first ever comic book video I am ever recording in this, it might be the last one or might be not the last one. So the whole idea is this channel is going to be not strictly just one genre of books, not just manga. I want to review every single thing I read on here that I just want to review, you know? Every Monday is going to be a book review of something. Might be a comic book, might be a manga, might be a regular book, something like that. That's the goal of this channel. And that's what I want to do. And then every Friday is going to be a book related thing. Something is going to be there for books, or I don't know. Book related, comic book, anything, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So I decided to read this first comic book. Right, you guys already see the title of the video, so I'm just gonna show you guys now. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Now, I decided to read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow because James Gunn is now in charge of DC movies, and he announced this as a movie. And I was like, all right, I'll just go check it out. So I decided to buy it. It was like 20 bucks, great. Had all the issues in it, so made it simple. I read it. So we're gonna get into spoiler talks. I'm gonna explain the plot of this, but before I go into the plot, I want to give it the rating, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. But now it's been a couple days since I've actually read it, and now I'm sitting back like it would probably be a good 3.75 and not a 4. It's really close, but I think it's gonna stay at a 3.75. That's where I got my rating for it currently. So this starts off where Supergirl wants to go to a planet where the sun will take away her powers so she can get drunk for her 21st birthday. I sat back and I'm like, that makes sense. It's all written from first person. Well, it's all written through a story of a different POV from not the main character, because Supergirl is the main character, but there's like 2 main characters. And the other character is called Ruthai. That's why I was calling her Ruthai. She explains that she wants revenge for the man who killed her father. And she's offering up the sword to bounty hunters and everything. And then what happens is Supergirl is at the bar where this girl is trying to find bounty hunters to kill this man for her father's revenge, essentially. Supergirl fights the dude who steals her sword, and Supergirl wakes up the next morning, hungover, so on and so forth. And Supergirl is leaving off the planet to go home with Crypto, and Rufai is asking her, she's like, here's the sword, will you please kill this man for my father? And the whole time Supergirl's like, no. Things get so wild in this first issue that it got me hooked. Supergirl was about to leave, and this man who killed her father, I don't know why I can't think of this dude's name off the top of my head right now. They said it like a million times, and I just can't think of the name. And I blame Oathbringer because there's so much names in Oathbringer. The man actually attacks the ship, kills Crypto. I was like, oh my god, they killed Crypto, a poor dog. They shoot Supergirl a couple times, and granted, you can't forget, like, they don't have their powers. So this is like, oh man, these guys are actually gonna die. And this is the issue where Supergirl fights one of the bounty hunters, but the main dude steals the ship and flies off. So then we get to the part where Crypto is dead, and Supergirl is actually gonna do some revenge now because she wants to kill this man. And I was like, oh, all right. I guess for the rest of this, for the next like 4 issues, there's a lot of like interesting character moments where Rufai and Supergirl are together, and it's a revenge story, and Supergirl is actually showing her a lot of things, quality of life things that I didn't expect to see, and I thought it was really interesting. Like, Supergirl is talking about her family, her past, of everyone dying on Krypton, and it's just a really different POV than what you're used to with like Superman. Clearly Superman doesn't know. Supergirl actually was living through all of this and seeing what was going on, and I thought it was just such a cool thing to see. But my problem was, through all this, that was only like 1 issue. The rest of the issues were kind of slow, and it was taking me out of it. Like, there was times where I'm like, all right, I'm almost done. You know, like, I was like, how many more do I have until this issue's over? So it felt kind of slow in some issues where I'm like, oh man, here we go. And then you would get to like towards the ending of it is actually, I thought was pretty good, because then they finally catch the guy and they tie him up to a tree, and he has a bunch of like pirates that are attacking this planet, and Supergirl goes and fights them, and this horse that is a Kryptonian horse, didn't even know that, goes up there and saves the Supergirl's life, because Supergirl was going to die from a Krypton bullet. They only had one. It was a kryptonite bullet that kills the horse instead of Supergirl. Supergirl then saves everyone, comes down, and Rufai actually cuts the rope to fight the man that killed her father, and she's trying to like seek her revenge to her father now. And I was like, and she cuts off his fingers. I thought, I was like, oh, okay, she's actually gonna do it. And then she finally was just about to, and then she did like this nice long monologue about just talking about like qualities of life and how this man doesn't like, she realizes she can't actually kill this man because she's not like this. And I was like, this is actually really cool, because me going into the story, I don't know anything about Supergirl. So this is my first time actually dipping my toes with Supergirl. And I thought that was a really cool aspect, that you actually got to see her show that she is like the rest of the heroes, because I have no idea. She's talking about not doing revenge, but then now she's going to do revenge, and I was like, oh, okay. And then what happens is they put him in like a card, like a frame thing, and he has to be there for like 300 years. And when he's finally out, he learns about his mistakes, and he's like apologizes to Supergirl and Rufai, and Rufai still kills him. So I'm like, what? I thought that really, like, at first I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I thought that defeats the whole point of what you were trying to do in the first place. Maybe I just misunderstood this whole story. Could be. So now my thoughts of it, I think most of the story was actually really good. I did enjoy most of it, but I felt like when it was weak, but when it was good, it was good. There was like the middle ground just wasn't interesting to me. I just didn't actually enjoy it, and it makes me kind of sad. And that's why, like, when I actually sat back and really thought about it, if I did re-rate it, it wouldn't be a 4-star anymore. It'd probably be more of a 3.75, because of Goodreads, you gotta either give it a 3 or you gotta give it a 4. You can't do in-betweens, which is why I know with a lot of people it's really annoying. But with the story in general, I think it was fine. I think Supergirl was a pretty cool character. I would like to read more about Supergirl. So if there's any more like cool stories that involve Supergirl, I would like to read them. I think the next comic book story I want to read is Spider-Man Blue, which I was told is a really sad one. So I want to read that next. And I would like to dig into some other American comic books that isn't just superheroes. I'd like to dig into those eventually too. No idea when, but we'll see what happens. With this story as a whole, like I said, it's a 3.75. There's a lot of fun things. I think Supergirl's a really cool character. I like that she's not like Superman, where she's just good with everything, which means, like, I'm saying, like, she's just like Superman really presents himself as like a goody two shoes. She isn't, and I really enjoy that aspect. It's a lot different, and it's just fun to get into that. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. If you guys like me reviewing some comic books once in a while, just let me know down below. If you don't like it, I don't have to do any more of them. I'm not going to be upset about it. This is just a trial and error thing with this channel in general. And if you guys do like comic books, what is your favorite comic book line? And maybe I'll check it out in the future. Last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.